I'm sitting on the airplane about to push back from Austin to fly to New York. I got an email from Patricia, and she reached out and said, hey, our interns heard that Sotol is like a new big thing and we'd want to talk to you about it. I was like, oh, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be in New York tonight. Yeah, so Desert Door, we're the first commercial distiller of Sotol in the United States since Prohibition, and we make a little spirit that is 100% handmade here in the United States from the Sotol plant that we wild harvest out of Southwest Texas. It is, if tequila had a smoother, more flavorful cousin, more sustainable, softer, more delicate than a mezcal, no added sugars, artificial flavors, or colors, that's what Desert Door is.
Hi, I'm Sean Struss, the beverage director here at Beef Bar in New York City. We're at 105 Hudson Street in Tribeca. Today we're going to be featuring some Desert Door Sotol. This first cocktail contains the oak-aged Sotol. The Sotol is going to be like a direct relative of tequila. It's going to be derived from a plant that is extremely close to the agave plant, but it's even more sustainable. It's got a really great round note to it. This one here being aged in oak, still going to have that really great peppery tickle on your tongue and give you a little bit of heat on the back end. So on this one here, we're going to utilize it in a drink that's similar to an old fashioned. We're going to start with 2 ounces of the Desert Door Oak-Aged Sotol. We'll do 1/2 ounce of the Nixta corn liqueur and 1/4 ounce of our house-made champagne corn cob cordial. We'll get our glass and our iceware all set. Give this a good stir. Strain that over our big rock. Top it with some of our dehydrated mini corn. There you go. Alrighty, so our next one's going to be called the Dill With It. We're using the Desert Door Sotol, a little charred pineapple juice, agave, lime, and dill oil. So we'll start with 1.5 ounces of our Desert Door Sotol. 1.5 ounces of our charred pineapple juice, 1/4 ounce of agave, 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, we'll garnish this with a couple drops of dill oil, a little fresh dill around the edge of the glass.
So one of the most amazing things about Desert Door is what would become Desert Door was a class project at the University of Texas in the summer of 2016, crafted in my garage and my co-founder's kitchen with a 15-gallon still that we bought online, a wood chipper we bought off Craigslist, and a stovetop pressure cooker. Now we're in 21 markets. We've got amazing partners, you know, here, Empire Merchants, Beef Bar, and the sheer fact that it's come this far in such a short period of time, it's just nothing short of amazing. It's truly humbling.
The next cocktail we're going to do is called the Pretty Tony. It's named after one of my best friends who is a big lover of tiki drinks, so it's kind of a play on that. We're using the Desert Door Sotol, Aperitivo Select, pineapple juice, lime juice, and some house-made orgeat. We're going to start with 1.5 ounces of Desert Door Sotol. Three-quarters of an ounce of pineapple juice, 1/2 of lime, and 0.75 orgeat. Give that a nice strong shake. Garnish with a dehydrated lime wedge. For this one, it's going to be called the Can't Hurt. We're using the Desert Door Sotol, some fresh cantaloupe juice, fresh lime juice, agave, mint foam, and a little bit of lime zest. Start with 1.5 ounces of the Desert Door Sotol, 1.5 ounces of fresh cantaloupe juice, 1/2 ounce of fresh lime, and 1/4 ounce of agave. Give that a nice strong shake. Strain that into our Nick and Nora glass. Top it with a little bit of mint foam. Finish with some fresh lime zest. This one is super light and refreshing. We bring in our cantaloupes once a week and generally wait for them to kind of hit their peak ripeness and juice them all. We try to use our ugly bits of mint and blanch them to use our mint foam to try and utilize everything we possibly can. This one's kind of a play on a tequila sour.
I want to say thank you to our distribution partner, Empire Merchants. I want to say thank you to Taste New York and specifically Beef Bar for making absolutely fantastic cocktails.
There's 10,000 years of history in these roots. The dirt, the rocks, the water, or lack of. This land is hard. It's unforgiving. It's also our home. This is Texas. The legacy of time changes the faces of those who tread this wilderness. Home to tribes, explorers, conquerors, and visionaries. Home to prospectors, settlers, ranchers, and workers. But nature, the soil, the rock, the plants, remain constant. This is the Sotol, the desert spoon, a mysterious and magical plant that has been a fixture of these lands forever. Ancient tribes used it for food, clothing, and weapons. They paid tribute to it with paintings on the walls of caves where they lived. Early ranchers relied on the plant to get their livestock through times of drought, and they moonshined it to get themselves through those same times. The Spanish taught native people how to distill the plant into a powerful spirit that embodies the desert. Relegated to mountain tribes and desert recluses, this drink has for centuries existed in obscurity, until now. We are sixth-generation Texans with a deep reverence for this land. It's in our blood. So transport yourself to this special place, clear your mind, and breathe in the cactus, the limestone, the mesquite. Taste the history of the land we call home, and open the door to the desert. Desert Door Sotol, a Texas original.